Hey guys, welcome
Later.
back to 59 Gaming. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out the channel, and all the support means the absolute world. Today we have a very special guest. He's been playing Legends for quite a while. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend?
All right, what's going on? 59 Gaming, raiyuden here, Super Saiyan 3 extraordinaire, stan of the Super Saiyan 3 form, tuning in, being interviewed by Gacha Talks for 59 Gaming. We're hoping that you guys will enjoy this. Maybe you'll learn a little bit more about myself. And if you learn something new, maybe you want to take the time to hit that like button. Maybe there's a new interesting factoid that you're about to hear with this interview.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure. So, for my first question I have here, what is your favorite gaming franchise?
Favorite gaming franchise? Okay, so I think it's probably going to be the Elder Scrolls for me, and I'm saying this mainly because when I was a kid, growing up, we didn't. The console that we had for the longest time was the N64, and throughout all the years, even when the PS1, PS2, all these other consoles came out, we still had good old N64. But the one console that we got afterwards was the PS3, and I got Oblivion for it, the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, and I remember just playing that game and being blown away at how good the game looked, how big the worlds were. I don't know if you guys remember, but like open world games for the N64 compared to open world games today, insanely different. I was just so taken back by the game. I don't know, that it just kindled a different fire for me. I just fell in love with it. The music score for the Elder Scrolls has always been good, but yeah, definitely have to go with the Elder Scrolls. Just big open world, all these rolling equips, RPG. It's just checks off all the boxes for my favorite kind of game.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I haven't heard about Elder Scrolls in a while, so thank you so much for sharing that one. And like you said, it is a fantastic game. And who knows, maybe we could see you playing it on here sometime.
Oh, big time. Oh, I don't know when they plan on releasing it. My hope is that they don't plan on releasing Skyrim for the fridge, for the calculator in the meantime. But if they release the next Elder Scrolls soon, oof, 100% I'm playing that. 100%.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for that.
definitely. So this next question is more about your actual YouTube content. So what brought you to playing Legends?
So I mean, for all of us, I think the whole thing is we just really, really like Dragon Ball, and how cool is it to be able to control and play as your favorite characters, and on a mobile device of all things too. I think we can all appreciate the fact that Legends is really complicated when you look down to it. I mean, how do you capture a fighting game in a mobile device in a manner where it's like you're still slightly casual in the way you play, but at the same time, you can still, have a leg up if you're more skilled at the game. The whole card system, all of that is genius. So for me, as a fan of Dragon Ball and wanting a little bit of, Dragon Ball fun on the go, Legends just appealed to me. I mean, everyone was talking about it. Everyone that, because I first started out playing Dokkan, but everyone within that circle started talking about Legends, saying, there's this new Dragon Ball game coming out for the phone, and there's a ton of fighting and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, I want to try this out. And it all just went from there. I heard about it from everyone and then tried it out for myself and fell in love. I liked it. It was great.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. And Legends is a really fun game, and we'll get into how it's doing now. But I do really enjoy Legends, and I'm glad that you do as well, man. It's
Yeah.
very cool. So I got three more questions for you. These are
Okay.
more fun ones. Two of them
Okay.
more, but the last one will be a little tricky.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. So, what is your favorite horror game as of right now?
Okay, so you guys may know that on my second channel, I play any kind of game. Everyone pushed me to playing horror games, and I said, all right, I'll dive into this. I never really played horror games, but if everyone wants to see it, why not? Maybe it'll be a different experience. So for me, of the horror games that I played, it's got to be Outlast 1 and 2 because those two genuinely had me scared. I didn't play a lot, but those two are hailed as very good horror games, and I can see why. The pacing, the tension, the atmosphere, the music, even the creepy characters in the games just bring the whole thing to a new level. It's just packaged so well. Every aspect of a horror game, they nailed it perfectly. So my horror games are Outlast, the Outlast series, which they're making a third one for, so that's going to be interesting. I gotta dive back to that craziness.
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. Yeah, both those Outlast games are pretty good. I know a lot of people didn't like 2 as much, but 2 is still pretty good. I thought it was still
Oh
pretty
yeah,
scary.
that one got a different aspect of spook on you. For the second one, like the first one was all about, the ducking and weaving and being careful with where you're going and juking and all this other stuff. But the second one just felt like you're getting chased 24/7, and it definitely gets a different kind of fear out of you because I mean, you're running away and you got this dramatic music drumming behind you and you're hearing groaning and people talking about how they want to murder you or demons, and so it's different kind of scare. I think it was still really really good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So another game that I've been seeing you play on your channel recently is Minecraft. Is that
Yes.
how long have you been playing Minecraft for?
Okay, so when Minecraft was in its first beta, goodness knows when, like over a decade ago, I played Minecraft. That was the first time I played. Um, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was like, okay, this is like a virtual version of playing Lego. So I was just, farting around with Minecraft a little bit, but I never got anything serious with it. Certainly not anything you see today. So I played it for a little bit, didn't do too much in it, made some structures, farted around with making glass and stuff like that for a little bit. And then I kind of just didn't continue with the game because at that point they had a big vision, but they didn't bring it to reality just yet. And then I dove back into it recently, being a couple of months ago, just because the game came so far. When I saw it trending and a lot of people recommended that I play it, I was like, of course, maybe all the things that they envisioned over a decade ago are now a reality. And my goodness, every time I play, I discover something new, something really interesting. If you think about it, you can probably do it in Minecraft. That's how far they've come along. I remember it was just so you had like something simple like a bucket. I mean, it's a bucket. It's just going to carry stuff in it. So I can carry water. I'm like, okay, it's a bucket. It carries water. I'm not surprised at all. But then I could carry lava. I'm like, what? I can carry lava? That's interesting. That introduces a whole new dynamic because lava is super destructive. I can do whatever I want with it. And then it got me thinking, like, can I get milk from a cow now with this? And I could. I'm like, what on earth? This is crazy. I wonder what else I could do. And this is just using a bucket as an example. If you really want to do it, Minecraft has some way to let you do it. So once again, I'm ranting on nothing, but that's the reason why I'm going back.
Right. I love Minecraft as well.
That's why I'm going back into Minecraft, just because I want to see what's changed. There's all these new worlds, all these new blocks, all these new functions, all these new things you can do.
Yep.
Pistons, all these new materials. There are bees in the game.
Yep.
Bees. Oh my god. Before it was just zombies and skeletons and a cow, and then now you got bees. I was just so taken back. I'm like, oh my goodness, they got bees in here. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. And Minecraft is nuts. I have spent so much time in that game, and you're about to do the same thing because there's a lot. There's so much stuff in it.
I don't even know if I can explore everything, but man, is it exciting to find something new every day. Like now there are landmarks. That blew me away. I found a fortress and it's riddled with loot. And the cool thing about that stuff is it's super dangerous, but at the same time, the loot is exciting because who knows what's going to be in that treasure chest. You open it up. Sometimes it's disappointing. You just find a bunch of arrows and feathers. You're like, all right, whatever. I guess this is useful for something. But then you find the other stuff where it's like, oh, here's a bunch of gear with enchantments, and that's a whole new level of confusion because I don't even know what the enchantments do. It's just there's so much to learn and discover. It's so exciting to play Minecraft. So that's why I went back. Who knows what they did in a decade? That's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. And you're gonna find a lot more secrets, man. I promise you that. There's a lot that you're gonna find.
I am so excited to find this other stuff. And what's cool is I have my audience sort of guiding the way. I'm not I am by no means going to go ahead and Google how to do stuff because that ruins the discovery aspect of it. So I have my audience kindly say, like, I asked them, I'm like, how do I do X or Y with this? And they're so kind because they don't give the direct answer. They give a hint, and that's all you need because that's what gets the brain going. And it's just a ton of fun for them as well as for me. It just all comes together.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree. And we left that on a very positive note. So hopefully this next question doesn't change the
Uh-oh.
positivity. So how do you currently feel about Dragon Ball Legends' current landscape?
Okay, so the game has certainly come a long way, and I think no matter, I honestly still think the game is in a really good spot, and it's clear that they listen to the community. I mean, we said just a few months ago that the game was in rough shape because we have this one dominant unit that just, he has such a strong grip on the meta. It just feels like you lose instantly once you face him. But now we have strong countermeasures towards the unit, and things outside of that. People were complaining that it takes a long time to load into the game. I was one of them. Now that's rectified. People were saying like there's not a significant amount of content, and now there's more content coming out. They're refreshing these events to get 1,000 chrono crystals. Zenkais are certainly more cheaper now, so it's more accessible to free to play players because the cost has been reduced. The resource gathering has gotten a lot easier. That's a big complaint that we had as well. They upped the frequency in which Senkais were coming out, which, naturally you would hope that the resources to awaken them was going to be abundant as well. And it wasn't at first, but then they listened to us. And now we got this cool weekend event, and resources for skip tickets and energy was also reduced. Not reduced, but was a bit of an issue that we had. And then they brought a lot of events to let you gather a ton of it, and the energy system overhaul is fantastic. So I think the game is in a great spot. I mean, when you jump into PvP and you're in a high rank and you face against, highly starred opponents or them with Zenkais, I think you should, take a step back and appreciate the fact that you, potentially as a free-to-play player, are in the upper ranks against all these other players that have very fantastic teams. Like your free-to-play team that you put together is able to progress just as they are. And I think you should see that as a really good accomplishment. There's no doubt you're going to see more Zenkais be more prominent going forward because that's just the way that the game is going. We can see it. It's their new way of balancing old units. But I don't know. I think if you're careful with your Chrono Crystals, you can get Zenkais as well. And the higher you climb, the more people are going to try and get a leg up over their opponent. And yes, that's where the gacha aspect caters towards that. But I mean, it's just the reality of a gacha PvP game. For the most part, I still think this game is really good in terms of being free to play friendly. I think those missions in order to gather, 1200 Z power for the new units is really good. 500 extra Z power towards any unit of that type is also fantastic. I don't know. I think the game is in a really healthy spot. I think it is healthy for free to play players. Now, just do keep in mind that as a free to play, you're not meant to summon for everything. You're not meant to Zenkai everything. If you were, then there would be no reason to spend any money. So that you got to remember that there has to be something for the people that are willing to put the extra money into it. But otherwise, I mean, the game I still think is in a healthy spot. It is very good for free to play players, just so long as you're careful. I think it's great. I think the game is in a good spot, and they've addressed a lot of the pressing issues. They've shown that they listen to the community. So if you have complaints, if you have things that trouble you, be sure to make them vocal, but say it in a manner that makes sense. You can't just say, I hate Dragon Ball Legends, this game sucks, it's gonna die, pay to win, lol noob. You can't say that. But if you say something like, I wish there was more resources for us so that we can, have better opportunities to do newer characters, to deal with, some of these more troublesome Zenkais and stuff like that, then that's good. Identify a problem, provide a potential fix you'd like to see. Don't just go on a ripping spree, otherwise it's not going to be helpful for anyone. I think the game's in a good spot. And I think going forward, it'll continue being in a good spot. Is that the right way to put it? Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I think the game will continue to improve. Obviously, there's going to be ups and downs because not everyone is going to be happy with every decision that they make, but they've shown that they listen to the audience when it comes to they listen to the community in terms of things that are really, really troubling and what need to be fixed. And please be patient too. It's not, they can't just make a giant fix overnight, especially for how deep rooted some of the issues could be. So, I mean, energy system overhaul took a while. The faster loading took a while too, but I mean, they did it. It's just a matter of, getting to it when they get to it. Some of these stuff are hard to implement.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And thank you so much for sharing that, man. I think that was the first time I've heard Legends in a positive light in a little while, so it's very cool.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that look at things that, the glass is half full as opposed to half empty kind of thing. So I like to see the more optimistic side of things. And I definitely identify the pressing issues. I see it. And we do our best to help make it known to everyone so that it can be addressed. Because, that's the best thing you can do. Just make it more known. But I think we still got to appreciate the good things that they're doing. They are showing that they're doing things right. So I'm looking forward to seeing how well or how different things look 6 months from now. But I think it'll be in even better light.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. And that's actually the last question I had for you. So do you have anything else you want to say to your audience?
Well, first thing I want to say is, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for helping 59 Gaming continue to grow. If there's anything you guys want to see from us or anything that you think we could improve on, please be sure to let us know in the comment section below. If maybe you have any pressing questions you'd like to hear from your favorite content creators, be sure to ask so Gacha Talks can see that question and ask for any further interviews as well. But outside of that, I think that's everything I wanted to say.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and having me. And
thank you for having me.
Of course. And thank you guys so much for the support. And we'll definitely be on the lookout for any other questions you have for any of these amazing content creators. And we could definitely get those answered for you. Hope you all are taking care. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.